available bandwidth to achieve the specific goal. Okay, so whatever the bandwidth that is available, that should be wisely used, means it should be utilized efficiently. Okay, that is the meaning of wise use of bandwidth. So efficiency can be achieved by multiplexing, that is sharing of bandwidth between multiple users. So instead of using single link only between two devices, we can combine several uh, data and send the data through the transmission media. So by doing this, what happens, it is possible to share the bandwidth. Okay, and another one is spectrum spreading. So that concept, it is mainly used for privacy and anti-jamming. Okay, so whenever if multiple signals are traveling in a single channel, so even security or the privacy is very important. Okay, so for that, what is the technique we are going to take care of that? So that is, you are going to learn in spectrum spreading. I think I have already explained what are the content you are going to learn in module 3. Okay, and this is the course outcome for module 3. Okay, so after learning this module, so you will be able to perform some of the analysis. Okay, so that is how to detect the error. Okay, how data can be corrected, all this can be done. Okay, so there are different methods. Yesterday I was explained in detail, like what is the meaning of error detection and correction. So that is the main focus in this chapter, and also you will be learning more on bandwidth utilization technique. Okay, so there are 3 chapters. Okay, maybe not all topics are included. So majorly you're going to concentrate on 2 topics in chapter 6, bandwidth utilization, that is multiplexing and spread spectrum, and chapter 8, switching. You already aware of these terms: switching, circuit switch network, packet switching. Okay, so here you're going to learn in detail. So in the first chapter there is only introduction part, so you're going to learn in detail how exactly these 2 methods works. Then later, chapter 10 covers error detection and corrections, where you will be learning lot of things about how to identify the errors in the received data, okay, and how to correct it using different methods. Okay, and you will be able to solve some of the problems. So that's why I've given knowledge level, maybe everybody aware of different knowledge levels here. I've given knowledge level 3 because you will be able to solve the problems by yourself by knowing the technique. Okay, so that's why it is K3. Okay, so we'll move on to the multiplexing, the first concept. So multiplexing, so whenever bandwidth of medium linking a device is greater than the bandwidth needs of the device. Okay, so whenever if you are linking 2 devices with a link, so whatever the bandwidth available to transmit that, if it is this, whatever the link it is there, the bandwidth of this link, if it is greater than what the device is required. Okay, so in such case, what we can do is we can utilize the bandwidth to share the or to transmit the data for the other devices. Okay, so that is a technique used in multiplexing. Okay, so multiplexing is a set of technique that allows the transmission of multiple signals across a single data link. Okay, the link will be single link. Okay, so that link is divided into number of channels, and each device can send the data through that particular channel. Okay, so that is how it is possible to utilize the bandwidth efficiently using multiplexing. I think in EC you have learned ADE subject, what is multiplexer, demultiplexer. Okay, so the same concept is used, but this is in terms of communication. Okay, so here what is the meaning of multiplexing, you need to remember. So just note down, multiplexing is the set of technique that allows a simultaneous transmission of multiple signals across a single data link. So that definition, it is covered in this diagram. Okay, so multiplexing is set of technique that allows simultaneous transmission. Simultaneous transmission means more than one signal can be transmitted in a media. Okay, simultaneously more than one data or one signal can be transmitted, okay, through a transmission media. So that is called as multiplexing. So you can just observe the diagram. So whenever there is a multiplexing is happen at the sender side, okay, so demultiplexing operation should take place at the receiver side. Okay, so demultiplexing should take place. So what exactly happens in case of multiplexing? You can just observe that this is at the sender side. Okay, so here the basic format of multiplex system is the lines on the left direct their transmission stream to multiplexer, which combines them into a single stream, many to one. Okay, you can just see there are n number of input lines coming. It is combining all these input and streamed it as a single line or single link. So this is can be specified as many to one. Okay, you are combining many input into a single input, and that is streamed or it is transmitted. Okay, so now once it is received at the receiver side, what happens? The stream is fed into demultiplexer. Now it has to decode that whatever the data that is combined and it is transmitted, it has to be decoded into n number of output lines. Okay, so that is a function of demultiplexer. So where it is going to perform one to many. Okay, one input to many output and direct them to corresponding lines. Okay, so you can just see if there are n input are coming, it should be divided into n number of output. Okay, the correspondingly the data is sent through each of the line. Okay, so here there is a term called channel. What is this channel indicates and what is the link? Okay, here the channel refers portion of the link. See, just note down important terms. Link is different from the channel. Okay, so what you can see externally, so this blue color box, okay, so that is called as link, where it is connecting two devices. Okay, so where it is connecting two devices, and that particular link can be divided into n number of lines. Okay, so portion of link that carries the transmission between given pair of line. Okay, so now this can be divided into n number of channels. Okay, each channel will be carrying one particular signal. Okay, so I think I have that diagram. You just remember here what is multiplexing, what is demultiplexing. Okay, so multiplexing means you are converting n number of input lines to a single link input line. Then demultiplexer, it is going to perform the opposite operation of multiplexer. Okay, it is converting a single input into n number of output. Okay, so how it is done? So here there is only one link. You can just see this one link. Within that, whatever the bandwidth it is available, that is divided into n number of channel. Don't think that all the signals are combined and sent. Okay, just for the outer view, you can able to view that it is a single link, but internally it is divided into number of channels. Okay, so example, you can take the radio. Okay, so in a single device you will be able to get so many different like stations with a different frequencies. In the same manner here it is going to happen. Okay, so it will be divided into a different n number of channels, and each channel is going to carry one input information. Okay, so this concept we call it as multiplexing and demultiplexing. So this diagram is very, very important. You need to understand. So if you have understood this, now we need to focus on how this multiplexing is done. Okay, if you know how to do multiplexing, so the opposite operation can be done easily, that is demultiplexing. So now we'll focus on what are the methods can be used for multiplexer, multiplexing the signal. So that is converting many input lines to a single input. Okay. So you can just observe there are three main methods that can be used for performing the multiplexing. Okay. So multiplexing, you can just observe the first one is a frequency division multiplexing, and the second one is wavelength division multiplexing, and the third one is time division multiplexing. So in case of frequency division multiplexing, what happens? Combining several signal into, that is analog signal, into converting into single analog signal, that is frequency division multiplexing. Okay, so that's why I have given the term here. It is analog. Are you getting? So this is analog. So that is multiple n number of analog signal converted into a single analog signal. Okay. Similarly, for wavelength division multiplexing, so here actually you are going to represent the signal as optical signals. Okay, optical signals, combining several optical signals into a single optical signal. And also here in the time division multiplexing, you are going to use a digital, that is converting a number of digital signal into a single digital signal. Okay, so these are all different multiplexing techniques that can be used to perform the multiplexing operations. Okay, so this is with respect to frequency, this is with respect to wavelength, and this is with respect to time information. Okay, is it clear? The types, different types, what is multiplexing and categories of multiplexing. So now we'll move on to the first method. Okay, the first method is frequency division multiplexing. Okay, it is, for example, for this simple example is your radio. Okay, so that is FM. You can just check it how the frequency is divided into 4 different channels. So the same concept you can use here to understand how frequency division multiplexing works. Okay, it is used for converting or combining several analog signal into single analog signal. So frequency division multiplexing, in short, we call it as FDM. Okay, is an analog technique that you need to remember. This is used for analog signal. Analog technique that can be applied when bandwidth of link is in hertz is greater than the combined bandwidth of signal to be transmitted. Okay, so whatever the bandwidth available here for the link, if it is greater than what is required by the device, so in such case we'll go for this multiplexing. Okay, so here how exactly this FDM works. So that is signal generated by each sending device. Here you can just see whatever the input line you can see, no? So here it is connected with a number of devices. Okay, even though it is a single link, main link, but here actually there are n number of devices are connected. N number of devices connected with each individual input line. Okay, so signal generated by each sending device modulate different carrier frequency. Okay, and each of this, whatever the data that comes, that will be modulated with a different carrier frequency. So these modulated signals are then combined into a single composite signal that can be transported by a link. Okay, so this is whatever we have discussed in the previous topics, so that all applied till here. Okay, so analog signal or whatever the conversion modulation we have discussed in the previous class, so all that is going to happen after that. Okay, it is combining all those input multiplexes and transmitted through a single link. So this link is having high bandwidth, so that multiple device can make use of this link for transmission of data simultaneously. Okay, so now carrier frequency are separated by sufficient bandwidth. So you can just observe here the link is divided into channels. I told in the previous diagram itself. Okay, even though it is a single link, but you will be having a number of channels. Okay, a number of channels. According to this diagram, we have 3 channels. Okay, so carrier frequency are separated by sufficient bandwidth to accommodate the modulated signal. Whatever the modulated signal that comes as an input, so that is going to make use of these channels to transmit the data from this device to the other device. Okay, so here the bandwidth ranges are the channels through which various signal travel. Okay, so whatever, this is the complete bandwidth, whatever the link you can see here to connect the main devices. So that is the link, and that is divided into n number of channels, and each channel is going to carry a particular signal. Okay, and these channels can be separated by stripes of unused bandwidth, god band. See, there is a lot of things when you want to learn about this channel. Okay, you may get uh, like you should get a lot of questions here, how the signals are transmitted through this channel. So don't you think is there may be an interfere? Okay, mixing of the signals, is it going to happen? Obviously it will be there. Okay, when multiple signals are going, even if you are just talking in your mobile phone, okay, sometimes you will be getting lot of disturbance. Okay, so all that has to be taken care by providing enough space or god bits. You will be learning about those things, how it can be uh, okay, so how channels can be separated by strips. So this is, there should be some gap between this channel and this channel. Okay, otherwise there may be interference between this signal and this signal. Okay, so for that you will be learning later how it is going to happen. Okay, how the separation of these channels can be done. Okay, so by using unused bandwidth as a god bands, it is called as god band. So that is going to separate the channels, so that all the problems of interference of the signal can be avoided to prevent the signal from overlapping. Okay, it should, by using this unused bandwidth or god bands, what happens is, so whatever the signal that is traveling through in this channel should not interfere with whatever the signal that travels in this channel. Okay, if there is an interference, then obviously that may not be decoded properly at the receiver side. Okay, you just compare all these things in your real time usage of your mobile phone. Okay, most of the time you experience that there may be cross connection. Okay, you have called someone but the call is connected to somebody else, or when you are talking there will be some noise disturbance. Okay, even though if it is not from the other end of the device, but during transmission there may be noise added, or the signal may get overlap. Okay, so all this may happen when you are using the technique of multiplexing. Okay, so for that there are a lot of solutions are there to prevent these problems. So that is, to avoid the overlapping of the signals can be taken care by using a god bands to separate the channels. Okay, so your carrier frequency must not interfere with the original data frequency. So whatever the carrier frequency you're going to use for modulating the signal, okay, that should not interfere with the original data frequency. So here, let me just show you the diagram. Okay, so here FDM is an analog multiplexing technique that combines analog signals. Okay, it is going to combine the analog signals. Combines the analog signal. Just remember, FDM means it is stands for analog signal. It uses concept of modulation. Okay, that is whatever we have discussed in the previous chapter. Okay, so we'll just move on to how multiplexing process goes on. You can just observe where we are getting different carrier frequencies. So that is F1, F2, F3. Okay, these are all carrier frequency. That is, you're getting signals from different devices. Okay, so these are all, so this one, you are getting from different devices. The input is coming from different devices, and you are multiplexing. Okay, you are adding all together and you are transmitting. So here what happens in the figure? So each source generates a signal of similar frequency range. So inside the multiplexer, these similar signals modulated to different carrier frequencies like F1, F2 and F3. Okay, so here it indicates it is using different carrier frequency. So the resulting modulated signals are then combined into a single composite. So here what you can see, okay, this blue color line, this is the combined composite signal that is sent out, okay, over a media through um, with the through the media or the link that is having enough bandwidth to accommodate this composite signal. Okay, if the bandwidth is too low and if you are combining or multiplexing several signals, then there will be a problem with the performance. Okay, so you will face the issues with the performance. It may be not possible to transmit the data at faster rate. So this technique, it is used when the link is having high bandwidth or enough bandwidth to send all these signals at a time. Do you think is it so easy working with this signal? It's very challenging. Okay, so just understanding only it's difficult. You just imagine for implementation. Okay, so how much care has to be taken to multiplex the signal sent through the media and demultiplex at the receiver side correctly. Okay, so it's not an easy task. It requires lot of the information or the technique to be used to decode these signals correctly at the receiver side. Yes, is it understood everyone? What is FDM? Yes, I want the response.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so FDM modulation, how it is done. First, always when you start your topics, blindly don't read. Okay, so you already learned different methods of representing the signals. So now why we need to learn about this multiplexing? First, understand. Okay, this is mainly one of the technique used for utilizing the bandwidth. Okay, so we are just focusing on bandwidth, how to utilize the bandwidth efficiently. For this we are using these techniques. Okay, so why the term efficient bandwidth, the term it is used here is, okay, so here whatever the link I am having here between the devices, okay, this is having high bandwidth. If I am just using this bandwidth to send only one signal at a time, so much of bandwidth is wasted. Okay, so for that reason, so we have to go for multiplexing so that the bandwidth can be utilized efficiently. Okay, and here you need to remember, so all the signals whatever it is coming from different devices, it is multiplexed, and what it is going to generate the output is composite signal. Okay, it is a composite signal and this is transmitted through the link. So now this is about the multiplexing. Then what about the demultiplexing? Okay, the opposite. It has to perform the opposite operation. So now this data is received, sorry, this data is received at the receiver side. So this reverse process should take place. Okay, so you can take it as minus here instead of this minus. Okay, so now this composite signal, so that is the demultiplexer uses series of filters. Okay, it has to use the demultiplexer should use series of filters to decompose the multiplex signal into constituent component signal. Component means the individual signal. So individual signals are then passed through the demodulator that separates them from carrier frequency. See, this is carrier frequency. This is the actual signal. Okay, this is the actual signal. So that is you have modulated using carrier frequency. Okay, so now if it is a demultiplexer operation, so it has to remove all the carrier frequency. Okay, then only you are going to get the final the signal element that is delivered to the specific device. Okay, individual signals are then passed to the demodulator that separates them from their carrier frequency. Okay, whatever the carrier frequency it is used, that will be separated. Yes, I think this is the diagram for demultiplexing. I told it is just reverse operation of this. So only thing is here there is a filter is used to filter the signals from their carrier frequency. Okay, so this is a demultiplex operation where the composite signal comes. So you have to use the filter and decode or demultiplex the signals, okay, and separate from the carrier, demodulate. Okay, we have discussed what is modulation, demodulation. So demodulation means it has to remove the carrier frequency, and whatever the resultant signal you are going to get, that is the actual output, and that is delivered to the device. Okay, so this is called as FDM demultiplexing or demodulation. Understood, no, everybody? A very simple concept. Only diagrams are very important. So as I observed, many of you are not given importance for the diagram in the test. So if diagram is very clear, so if you just try to, hardly it will take, if they ask explain FDM, okay, diagram you have to draw neatly and just explain in simple words how FDM works. And opposite of that operation is demultiplexing. Only thing is you need to add a special term called filter. It uses the filter to separate the signals and remove the carrier frequency and deliver the signal. So it's not a difficult thing. Everyone can answer the questions, like if you go for data communication or computer network. So if you need to understand, okay, you need to understand. If you understand, you can write the answers very easily. Okay, don't always think in terms of test points or the marks. Always try to understand the subject, because you have advanced subject of this data communication is computer networks. Okay, there you will be learning some more high level. So if you don't know these basics, then how will understand those concepts? That's why. So this subject is very important. And many of the time you just put a question yourself how it works. Try to find the answer from your side. If not, you can communicate to me. Blindly simply joining to the class, it's of no use. There should be an effort to learn the subject. And also most of the time it depends on your response. Okay, the class will be interactive. Only few students will always respond. Many students won't respond. Okay, you can just see this is an FM. I think you know, no, FM radio. You can just take example of FM. So if you just tune to different frequency, what happens? You will get a particular station. Okay, you will be able to listen some song in this. Okay, maybe Kannada, English, Hindi, like that. So you will be having different frequencies when it is transmitting through the media. It can be easily separated using different techniques of demultiplexing. Okay, it is just a simple method of multiplexing and demultiplexing. Let me. So before going to the problems, we have problems here. I'll just go to the topic. Okay, so this is the second method. Okay, wavelength division multiplexing. So we'll just solve the problem together for both the methods. So before going to this, let me just understand where we'll use this FDM. Okay, where we'll use this FDM. So this is very common application is AM and FM radio broadcasting. So that is the application of FDM. Just note down. So always whenever if you are learning some methods, just know where it is used. Okay, so that is FDM, frequency division multiplexing. It is used in, that is used as AM, that is analog modulation and frequency modulation. So many times maybe you use the term FM, you are listening to FM, but what exactly FM? Okay, radio broadcasting. This is the application, radio broadcasting. There they will use this FDM. So the radio uses air as a transmission media. Okay, so air is used as transmission media. Okay, you're not connected. You're connected to any link, your radio? So except the power supply, I don't know how many of you are still maintaining the radio in home. Okay, in case if it is there, you just think it is not connected to any particular, like how your internet is connected. So you don't have any dedicated link here. So in that case, it is just using air as a transmission media. Okay, so that is, there is a special band from 530 to 1700 kilohertz. Okay, so this is assigned to AM radio. Okay, and all the radios will share the same frequency. This is a frequency range, 530 to 1700 kilohertz. So within this, so all the channels should be used. So here each AM station needs 10 kilohertz. Okay, each AM station, okay, whatever the station you will be tuning now, so each station will be needing 10 kilohertz of, this is 10 kilohertz of bandwidth. Okay, so each station uses different carrier frequency, and whatever the stations you can listen, so all the stations are differing with their carrier frequency, which means that if it is shifting its signal and multiplexing. Okay, and the signal that goes to the hair is a combination of signal. So when it is coming out of the main uh, device, it will be an individual signal. Okay, when it is transmitted through the media, here as a transmission media, so all the signals are combined. When it is received at the receiver side, okay, once again it is divided. It is divided into different frequencies. Okay, so at the receiver side, what happens? The receiver receives all these signals. Okay, so your radio will be able to uh, tune to all the channels. Okay, yes, no, you just compare this to your radio channels. Okay, so receive all these signals, but filters only the one which is desired. Okay, to which frequency you are setting your radio. Okay, accordingly, only that particular signal is, or that particular station is going to play, and remaining all it will be filtered. So without multiplexing, only one AM station could broadcast common link, okay, through the air as a media. And here there is no physical multiplexer or demultiplexers are used in AM radio. Okay, so you can just compare. This is a main example where FDM can be used for radio broadcasting. Their air is used as a transmission media. And where this is, in which layer it is going to take care of all this multiplexing operation? Can somebody answer? Put your answer in the chat box. Okay, which layer is responsible? Which layer is responsible for multiplexing? Is it? Are you able to use the chat box? I want the answers. Yes, come on. Which layer? What you know? I think I've explained this term